So welcome to an all-new Retro Core. This is Macaroon and Makendo 2, which is a one-on-one beat-em-up, unlike the original, which was a side-scrolling platformer. Now before we get into the game, just listen to this music. You gotta love the Super Nintendo or the Super Famicom sound chip, haven't you? It's great. Yep, a lovely bit of a remix there, featuring all the speech samples from the game. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's get onto the actual game. Now the game stars our lovely teenage witch girl. And it's up to her to go around beating the crap out of all the bad guys and saving the world from demons. Pretty much a Japanese anime storyline, really. And in fact, that's pretty much what she did do in the original game. Now, before you start dissing the game by saying, "Well, man, that looks shit," looks can be deceiving. And in this case, they are. This game does play sort of okay for this type of game. I mean, yeah, it's certainly no Street Fighter, and it's certainly no Fatal Fury Special. But as far as anime 2D beat-em-ups go on 16-bit systems, it's not bad. Animation's a bit lacking, mind you, but you can do combos, and the collision detection's pretty good. And it does move at a decent pace. And if you thought Capcom were the first people to introduce great big massive robot limbs in a beat 'em up, think again. Actually, that's quite impressive for the Super Famicom. Quite annoying though, because you don't know where the bloody enemy is going to come from. Now, I don't think you can actually hear this, but on this song in the background, they do have a few speech samples in it. For some reason, you can't really hear them while you're battling it out. Macho. I don't think of other words to call them. And in the background we got the Power Rangers. Oh, great. Quite fitting actually for today's show, and that is a coincidence because I never remember those characters being in there. Known as F1 Challenge in the West, this is the Sega Saturn's first and only real Formula 1 racing game. And even though it's got the official Formula 1 license, at least for Japan, it doesn't actually feature all the tracks. Can you believe that? They have the official license and don't feature all the official Formula 1 tracks. But how many do they feature? Well, you're not going to believe this. This game features 3. Yeah, 3. and a handful of drivers. Great use of a license there, Sega. Maybe you're pressed for time, I don't know, but you could have done better than that. So we got Hockenheim, Suzuka, and of course Monte Carlo, or the Monaco GP. Of course you do have the Sega Motorland course as well, which is split up into 3 different versions, which is quite nice, but then again it's only one course, isn't it? So, while most Formula 1 games really give you a lot to fiddle about with when it comes to car settings, this game keeps it more arcadey. And I think that's basically the whole feel Sega were going for. While you can tweak a few options, there's nothing too major to get the novice confused. Now you may be wondering why this game is called F1 Live Information in Japan. That's because it's got a live running commentary in real time. And you got that little camera in the corner. See that little box? Doing a replay of your, well, a live camera view of your race. Pretty nice stuff, considering this is a very early Sega Saturn title. And even better, remove that box and you get 30 frames a second. Lovely stuff. Especially when you consider Daytona's, I think it's on like 20 frames a second. And also, one thing to shout about for this game is the sky is in 3D. Just watch when you turn the corner, see? Panoramic 3D, it's the only racing game on the Sega Saturn to do that. And apparently, from what I've been told, the only game on a 32-bit system to do that. All the PlayStation racing games have a 2D background skies as well, apparently. So I've been told. But that's where all the good points end when it comes to this game. As I mentioned before, the game is basically an arcade style racing, not a simulation. So you can let the game off for having slightly slippery controls. But they are a little bit too sensitive for my liking. So sensitive in fact that the game is pretty difficult to play on the in-car view. It is much easier on the outside view, which is quite unusual for me because I love playing racing games on the inside view. But your car just seems too big and a bit too twitchy to get by the other cars. And the fact that there's only 4 tracks really, because the last one's split up into 3 different tracks, but it's just one big track. And the lack of a 2-player mode really doesn't fare too well for this game. But if you're after the quick arcade style racer, maybe give it a try if you can find it cheap. Kujako, based on the anime of the same name. Now you've probably seen this in the West. This is called Spellcaster. Now where the Spellcaster has kept these RPG bits in, I do not know because I've never actually played the English version of this game. But I did see it in the UK when I used to live there. And I did consider buying it as well, but for some reason I never did. I do own this Mark III version, and I'm very happy I do because it does have the lovely FM sound, which the Western Mass system does not. So it does sound a hell of a lot better for the start. Although, I don't know what the Western version does sound like, but I do know it won't sound as good as this. So as you can see, it's quite a pretty looking game. Controls are quite responsive as well. Basically you have a jump and a fire button. Hold down the fire button to power up your charge. Unfortunately when you're powering up you can't move, which is a bit of a letdown. But it sort of adds to the strategy of the game. Those graphics are really nice. Here we go with a few more RPG elements. Basically these parts do tell the story of the game as well as letting you talk to people, search for stuff and so on. Oops! Looks like I got killed by a jellyfish, I think. Oh, I think it's jellyfish. Anyway, did you know that this game has a sequel? Yes, it does. But it's not on the Sega Master System, it's on the Sega Mega Drive. Let's take a look. Yep, here we go with the sequel. Also released in the West, known as Mystic Defender. But this Japanese version is much nicer because it's got all the lovely anime pictures. Lovely. So, like the Master System version, we get a bit of a story to explain the plot of the game based on the anime again. And you might recognise the character as well. He's quite similar, isn't he? That's because it's the same guy. And like the Master System game, you can just keep pressing fire button to let out little weedy blasts, or hold down the fire button to charge up your power. Now you can move while charging your power, but unfortunately when you move, your power doesn't charge. So again, it's a bit on the awkward side. But again, like the Master System game, it does add to the strategy of the gameplay. Although, to be honest, it did seem bloody annoying when I first played the game many years ago. So here we go with the first boss of the game. Or could be the third boss if you count the two mini sub-bosses. Now the idea is to climb up to the tree so he comes out of his ball form and blasts him twice with a super powerful shot. That's simple. Unfortunately, the rest of the game isn't that simple. It does get quite difficult. Yes, Kujaku 2 is one of those platform games that really do require split timing jumps. Now, some people really hate that sort of gameplay, and to be honest, it can be quite tedious. But you've got no one to blame but yourself. It's not the game's mechanics which are at fault. I can't help but feel that this game is a bit on the weird side. Got those bald-headed monks turn into heads and sort of roll around. Got mutated babies there, which you kill, and they sort of turn into a slop pile on the floor. It's definitely a weird game, this one. Now, as you can see at the top of the screen, I have a choice of 3 different weapons, which you can choose at random through any point of the game. And as you can see here, I'm using the star weapon, which sort of fires off a load of balls which ricochet around the screen. And kill those nasty monks, which if you watch closely turn into spiders. Yeah, this is one screwed up game. And so screwed up that now I'm in an alien mothership. God knows how I ended up there. But I was in the middle of Samurai Japan. Yeah, it's certainly got no consistency. But then again, neither's the animation. So all in all, this is a very nice game. A little bit tricky. A little bit frustrating, but quite rewarding. Just don't be an idiot and kill yourself twice in a row like I'm about to do right now. Yep, that wasn't too good. Slid right off the platform there. And I should have got off the platform. That's the shite of the week. Oh yes, it's that time again. Shite of the show. And this week we're going to take a look at fun in games. Straight away from the title, you know it's going to be shite. Fun in games. Yeah, okay. So, just what I always wanted. A pencil which draws in dots. Great. How about a bit of paint? Hang on. Hang on. Oh, shit. This was a bad idea, wasn't it? This is going to take forever. No, I knew the Super Nintendo was slow, but come on. Hey, let's do a jump cut. We don't want to wait for this, do we? Hey, how about let's paint in some crazy ass dinosaurs? And instead of using normal paint, let's use some textures. Actually, that's not bad. Still too slow though. And no, I withdraw my statement. It is pretty bad. Yeah, that is pretty bad. Okay, well, yeah, fun and games does consist of various different programs aimed at kids. We've got painting, and we've also got games. Yeah, no, I let my 4-year-old son have a game of this, and he said it was rubbish. He actually did say rubbish. You shoot these green balls to turn into that sort of space worm, and you shoot that, and the whole process starts again. But my son did like this next game. But I'm not giving it any credit, because it's just bloody Pac-Man with a mouse. And instead of eating power pellets, you eat a bone and turn into a cat. Which means, no, you turn into a dog, not a cat. Which means you can eat the cats. But for some reason, you still like cheese. Not bad, but it's just a rip-off of Pac-Man. Now, we all know Mario Paint sounds a bit on the shit side, even though it does have its fans. But you've heard nothing until you've heard this crap. Got some built-in beats as such, and a few little tunes which are used as the BGM throughout the game. But that is bloody awful. Like, the Super Nintendo's got such an amazing sound chip, and that's the sort of shit they give you. Now, I know it's for kids, but come on, you could have done better than that. And to give it credit, it does have a few voice samples, but the quality of them is awful. For some reason, all sound effects in this game have a horrible hiss in the background. Even the music. Okay, and here we go with the final section of this fun in games. It's style! Now, hang on, how the hell did you change the body parts again? Hang on. Oh, that's not it. Hang on, bear with me. Ah, that's it, you press the B button. Or the A button, sorry. Oh, the hilarity of it. Shite. That's it, you can't even save it. Get rid of that shit. And we got one more part of the style section. Dress up the Barbie girl. And listen to some dumbass say so-called hip trendy words. Yep, definitely shite of the show. I'm not even gonna bother commenting on the rest of it. Shite.
Crazy. Rad. Cool. Grody. Not.
It's time for the ultimate console gaming machine, or computer gaming machine I should say, the Sharp X68000. And today we're going to take a look at one of the Sharp's 3D games. This is Geograph Seal. Definitely one of the games that shows you that this machine is not just capable of producing arcade perfect 2D conversions. Nope, it can even do really capable 3D games. Don't forget, this came out in 1995. Now, coming to us from members of the same team who brought us Jumping Flash for the PlayStation, this game shares many similarities, although it does control a little bit more trickier. The D-pad moves you left and right, forwards and backwards, as you'd expect. You've got a jump button and a fire button. Now, unfortunately, to look up and down, you have to hold down the fire button and hold down the jump button and then push up and down on the D-pad, which can be a little bit fiddly at first. But you sort of get used to it after a while. Now, the idea of the game is to walk around the landscape and take out all the enemies, as well as taking out the targets. Once you've taken out all the targets, you can move on to the main boss of the level. Kill that boss, move on to the next stage. Fairly simple, really. And that's what's so good about it. Simplicity, yet just such great fun. Okay, that's all the targets down. Off to the big boss man. Okay, let's throw a few missiles into the, let's say, robot, but robot looks more like an enemy base. I'll throw a few missiles into him, hopefully we'll get him down. Oh, hang on, just noticed my shield's going down pretty fast there. Better be careful. Oh well, that's the end of that then. Oh well, at least I got my name in. Now, believe it or not, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers almost made it to shite of the show. But because it's got that cool Japanese fighting in there, it got saved. As a game though, it is shite. So here we can see the Mega CD trying its best to pull off full screen, full motion video in colour. Yeah, it's doing quite well as far as frame rate goes, but the colour certainly lets it down. And no, I haven't encoded the audio wrong. That is the quality of the audio on this game. It is diabolically bad. Whoever encoded it really should have got an ass kicking. That is pathetic sound quality.
Triceratops! Saber-tooth tiger! Tyrannosaurus! Power Ranger!
Teleport them to Angel Grove City. Vita just sent down Goldar.
Right away, Zordon!
What the hell did he just say? That bloody fat guy in blue. Was it English?
Alright, let's do it!
Hey, we're back in Japan. I love the way they suddenly switch to the Japanese fighting scenes with all the Japanese writing in the background on the buildings. Great. So here we go with the actual game. Yeah, this is the game. See those little Power Ranger symbols going up and across the screen? Well, that's which way you push the directional pad. Yeah, little symbol floats up, you push up. Little symbol points down, you push down. Now, unlike many full motion video games, when you actually miss a symbol in this game, nothing happens. It just continues to fight as normal. So, for example, in a Time Gal or Road Avenger or some of the other Japanese games, or even something like Dragon's Lair, if you miss the target, you get an extra animation like a death sequence or something. In this, nothing. It just continues regardless. And your little energy bar down in the bottom left hand corner does go down. Now these days I have to watch the Super Sentai series an awful lot, you know, the Japanese version of Power Rangers, because my 4-year-old son is really into them. That and Kamen Rider. So I seem to know quite a lot about these Super Sentai or Power Ranger characters recently. You'd have to sit through the entire Western version of Power Ranger Samurai.
That blow didn't even phase him. Man, he's coming at us.
So anyway, the point is, even my son didn't like this. He was more interested in sitting there and actually watching the battles than playing anything.
Power sword.
Yeah, honestly, as far as gaming goes, this is it isn't a game. No, it's awful.